Hola, Bafethu. Welcome back to the Ballers Hub YouTube channel. My name is Udlamini Lefatse, and today with me is Thami Zondi. We are speaking things CAF Champions League, where we saw Mamelodi Sundowns taking on the Ahly, where they played a 1-1 draw, which saw Mamelodi Sundowns advancing to the CAF Champions League final, where they will play Pyramids. It's been long coming, Tam. But now, over the past few years, the Sundowns has been coming up short. They've gotten eliminated in the semi-finals, in the quarterfinals. They've changed coaches. Rolando Mkwena left. Manguba Mniti also left, bringing in a coach like Umiko Cardoso to take them over the line. This year, they've finally done it. But the job is not done yet. They still have to play Pyramid. But congratulations, Mamelodi Sundowns, for advancing into the CAF Champions League final. Maybe what are your thoughts, Tammy, on the game that they've played?
Yeah, my brother, I think let me start by saying congratulations, Mamelodi Sundowns. I also want to, when I left to give a special congratulations to Stellenbosch Football Club. They were eliminated in the semi-finals in their very first ever attempt in African tournaments, because it was the first time they played CAF Conventions Cup, and they were eliminated by a team that has been there for a very long time in Simba FC. And we must also congratulate our coach there, Ufatu Davids, because Simba FC is coached by the former Orlando Marisbeck coach, Ufatu Davids. Back to Sundowns, my brother. I think they just confirmed their status as the second best team in Africa. Their route was not easy. Like you said, they had to change coaches. They got rid of Rulani, a decision that left so many people questioning it as well. I mean, and then they went to give an opportunity to Mangawa to their loyal servant. And for me, I wasn't convinced from the start. You know, sometimes when you've been an assistant for a long time, it takes you time to then, know that now I'm the coach. Yeah, understand? I think it's the same thing that what's happened to Ufadu and Dulan when they were given an opportunity at Pirates as well. So now they gave it to Mangoba. I think they were not convinced because, and I need to give it to them because they could see from an early stage that, okay, you know what, we're in danger of not making out of this group. So we need changes. They went up. They went to Tunisia. The former Esperance Tunis man, Miguel Cardoso, came in and changed everything, changed the style of play, and he brought a different Mamelodi Sundowns in terms of how they play. He didn't care whether they win 1-0, ugly, helicopter football, whatever you call it. And they got the result. They are still number one in the league. They might not have, obviously, they got eliminated in the Nedbank Cup by Kaizer Chiefs. And for me, I think that was an omen to them because it means they can now focus solely on the CAF Champions League. And they're playing Pyramids, and not so convincing Pyramids, in my opinion. Because when Pyramids played Orlando Pirates in the first leg, everybody was wow, everybody was surprised as to what is this team, where is this team coming from? But when Orlando Pirates played them in the second leg, I don't think that team is gonna be good enough to beat Mamelodi Sundowns. I think it's for Sundowns to lose. I think they are ready. Like you said, they've been preparing themselves for years. You don't win a CAF Champions League overnight. You build the squad, and then once you have that squad, now you give them the objective that no, we are ready now to go all the way. They played Esperance in the semi-finals. They beat them 1-0. They went to Tunisia and played like professionals. Top players performed in the game. Ronan Williams was on top of his game. Mukwena was on top of his game. They went to an Ahly. They did not start well, let's be honest. They seemed very scared in the first half. I think they gave too much respect to Al Ahly, of which Al Ahly then did the same thing surprisingly in the second half. I think Al Ahly thought, okay, they're winning the game, and then they started giving Sundowns the respect. And Sundowns. Once Mukwena started playing, once Ayende is in the mood, and then the big Mshishi came in as well. I think it was an added confidence. And then they got the all-important away goal, and then they threw to the finals. And I think we are going to get a second star or a third star in South African football.
No, very, very informative there, Tammy. You look at the lineup of Mamelodi Sundowns in that game, man. It was very concerning from a fan's perspective, man. There was no Reynas, no Peter Shalulile, no Tembazwane. You know, you look at Sundowns in that first half, especially in the first 15 minutes. I think the players were a bit nervous. I think the players, they were a bit scared. You look at playing it a sold out, a full stadium in Cairo. Cairo International Stadium, if I'm not mistaken, where Al Ahly is playing. They use that field as a home stadium. It was not working, man. It was not clicking. There was no traditional number 9. I think Ribeiro was playing as a false 9. Matthews, I think game time, a lack of game time, it proved to be evident with Matthews because he was not like the Matthews that started the season, man. But then Sundowns conceded a goal. Let us start there. They conceded a goal, a very beautiful pass from Imam Ashur to Mohamed Tamer, and then he scored a very, very beautiful goal. But after that, man, how do you think Sundowns responded? I'm talking about the likes of Bo Tebo Kgomkwena, the likes of Bo Ronan Williams. You see, the older guys, in terms of making sure that the other guys remain calm, they remain composed, and continue fighting because the match was not over at that point in time.
I think experience came into play, my brother. You know when you're a big team and you've been there for years. My worry was that because I could see that Matthews was not in the game. Adams was affected by the movement in front of him. Because remember, I think the one mistake that Ribeiro has, he loves the ball. And if you are made as a first line, you must remember that we will need to play without the ball at times. That's where the
Yeah.
problem was. And then Matthews, I think the game, let's just be honest, the game was bigger than him. I think the stage was just bigger than him. He got 2 chances in the first half, if you remember them on Lefatse. And in such games, no, man, but you need to make the keeper make a save. You need to take the chance or those chances. So, and obviously, end up frustrating about Mukwena, frustrating about Ayene. That's why there was no link, there was no build up, there was nothing in the first half, to be honest. But one thing that is important, immediately they did not concede more because my fear was that they will start panicking and wanting to get an equalizer in the first half, and then it was going to be very over for them. I think the formation, the coach got it wrong the first half. I think everyone was not happy with Reynolds and Charlie playing together, but he was supposed to have one of them in. And for me, Charlie, he should have started the game. Remember, you're playing away. You need somebody to bully those defenders. You need somebody to run on the shoulders of defenders. And who else better than Charlie at this moment in time? I think he got it wrong, but of course, let's give him credit as well. The changes came in. I think besides the changes in terms of personnel, the changes in terms of the mentality of the players, reminding that, hey guys, we're Mamelodi Sundowns. You're still in the game. And the away goal stands. You guys get one goal, it's all over for Ahly. And one thing I knew with the fact is that as soon as Mamelodi Sundowns start playing, you will hear the whistles because the fans are not happy with the team. The fans are not happy with the coach. And you saw that as well. As soon as Mamelodi Sundowns started to play, Yenza and Penika went to the back because they have not been playing well. You understand? And when I knew it was just a matter of time, Sundowns scored the all-important goal, and it was all over for Ahly. So let's just give credit to the coach, but most importantly for me, the mentality of the players, the belief. I saw Abomvala pushing them from the stands, reminding their teammates, would say, we are Mamelodi Sundowns, because remember, Sundowns did not have supporters there. The players that were in the stands were supporters mentally, and they needed those players. And I could see Kekana speaking to the players, guys, we just need one goal. And that's exactly what they got. And the job well done, and they're in the finals right now.
Thami, there are players that when you look into a team, no matter the players in and around the team, there's maybe 1 or 2 players that whenever they are in the field of play, the confidence level just rises up. I'm talking about Tushikabala, Umshishi. He didn't have the greatest of games, man. But in my opinion, when Umshishi came on, I think in everybody's mind, in terms of Mamelodi Sundowns, it just, they just switched on because I think of the character that Umshishi has. You look at the aura that guy has. When Umshishi came on, they started to play a little bit better. And then in the 74th minute, Miguel Cardoso decides to no, it's all or nothing from now. Brings on a player like Upita Shalulile. Brings on a player like Ihram Reynas. 90th minute, Sundown scores that all-important goal. How important are those players in a team, man? Shikabala, Tebo Kgomkwena, Ronan Williams, Maceo Allende. Those impactful players, man. Because I'm thinking to myself, Uti, Angazi, man, when Umshishi came on, there was a different feeling about the Sundowns, especially when they were going forward. I think he also got a chance where had he controlled that ball a little bit better, he was in front of the goalkeeper. He was going to score. You see, those movements, it's the little details, man. And I think Sundowns are on top of the world, man.
My brother, I'm glad we're honest to say Mushishi did not have the best game or the best minutes when he came on. But you're talking about Mushishi. Do you know the fact? I want you to look at what Argentina players do when Argentina, the national team, is playing to Messi. The respect they give to him. It doesn't matter what he does on the field of play. At times, he doesn't have the greatest of games. Obviously, he's aging and whatnot. That's the confidence that Taher Mohamed gives to Mamelodi Sundowns. They love playing with him. They love having him on the field of play. I could see the smile from Umkwena because he now knows that I will just pass Mushish. I will just pass Mushish. The rustiness came into play because that first touch for me, and it was done. Goal. But of course, when you have not been playing for a while, it bounces to happen even if you are the best. You are talking about Ronan Williams. You are talking about the best goalkeeper in Africa by far. And probably, I'm saying by far because I'm saying probably there's no number two. Then we can probably say Uchina is number three, if you know what I mean. And then you talk about Mukwena, Tebogo Mukwena. What is he still doing in Africa? We always talk about that. What is Mukwena still doing in the PSL? He should have gone a long time ago. I believe he still have 2 or 3 seasons in him at the highest level. He still has time to leave. Ribeiro, I think Mamelodi Sundowns, they got it correct as far as those players are concerned. That's class, my brother. They play the same way. Yes, of course, there's lost form in the past 5, 6, 7 games. It's not a secret. He has lost form, but he's a quality player. You can see he went through all development stages in his life as a teenager. I don't want to single that out, but let's speak with Divine Long as well. He's been exceptional. I think people, if you watch it correctly and closely, Divine Long has been exceptional. That is why now, Modiba, even Mamelodi Sundowns for supporters now, they favor or they want Divine Long more than Opri Modiba. But for me, Modiba obviously gives better because of the way he cuts inside in the middle, because he can play as a midfielder as well. I think it's better going forward. But in terms of the balance, Divine Lunga gives exactly what Umutaru, another consistent player, my brother. For me, he was their best player in the first half. He played his best game, but this is what he's been doing. We spoke experience. This is what he's been doing for Bafana, especially when they are playing away. The changes, everyone was calling for them, the fans. We wanted Shalulile, we wanted Drainers, because we could see that Sanders actually can get a goal. And the coach, that's why I'm saying, give credit where it's due. Yes, some of us, even myself, I was not convinced by Cardoso. I was not convinced by the way he was playing, but he made it to the final. And you're only judged by the results, unfortunately. When he wins this, we'll say Miguel Cardoso came on and won the CAF Champions League. Those substitutions, and they were very key. Drainers, Shalulile, they only know one thing. No, Reines has been consistent in the past 2 seasons with Stellenbosch. You went back to the Reines of old. Obviously, things did not work for him at Sports United, but he's been consistent as far as goals are concerned. Charles Lille is closest becoming the all-time goal scorer. It's not by fluke because he's scoring goals in Africa and in the PSL as well. Those were the reasons why Mamelodi Sundowns are now in the CAF Champions League final. And for me, they are going to win the CAF Champions League.
Nah, they're certainly looking very, very good. A player like Umudao, man, we cannot close this video without talking about Khuliso Mudau. He's another player that I'm questioning myself. What is he still doing? Like, he's not like technically the best in terms of the defenders that we have in the PSL. I think technically Umutiba is a bit better than Umudao. Oh, but the mentality, the 1v1s. There was a point in the second half where Mamelodi Sundowns was chasing the game. He looked like he was their sweeper. He looked like he was playing number 5. I think because of the pace, he was outrunning Bokram Ekana, collecting the balls from the back and trying to maneuver the balls going forward, man. Khuliso Mudau is by far, and I'm putting it out there, I'm saying it myself, Khuliso Mudau is by far the best right back we have in Africa. He has proven it over and over against players like Mo Wilfred Zaha, against players the best of the best, man. You look at the AFCON, Khuliso Mudau was there. He's one of the reasons, alongside Tebogo Mokoena, Bo Ronan Williams, that made South Africa go to where they ended up. I mean, coming back home with the bronze, But we are closing this video now, Thami. Mamelodi Sundowns will be taking on the Pyramids, man. The confidence level, how is that changing room now? How is the staff looking?
My brother, I feel sorry for whoever is going to play Mamelodi Sundowns from now on. Their best players are coming back. Shishi is back. It's a matter of fitness. Yusom Vala is walking and smiling on the field of play. They have a problem in the left center back position. Let's give Ulebusa credit where it's due. He was put on the field for 2 important games. The first leg against Ahly at home and the second one. He showed experience. Musa Lebusa has been there. You have a Kekana that is their best center back at the moment. And for me, there's nothing that's going to stop them. Even for the league, I feel like it's only a matter of them really not taking it serious. Because I don't think Orlando Pirates will make them. I mean, will catch them as far as the league is concerned. But anything can happen in football. So in simple sense, I'm just saying they have everything in their own hands. They have the league to lose. They have the Champions League to lose, and I don't see them losing any of the two.
No, man. Hey, Mamelodi Sundowns, they are looking good, man. Like when the season started, it didn't look like they could have the greatest of seasons, man. But now they're in pole position to win the league. They're in pole position to win the CAF Champions League. You know, they were eliminated in the finals of the Carling Cup, man. It's been a good season for Sundowns if you look critically at it, man. But yeah, that's a story for another day. But for you to thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Ballers.